All right, folks. The time has come. I am hoping to be able to offer you a grass seed next year. It's the same varieties that I used in my yard when I overseeded this fall. I had a bunch of people ask what varieties and stuff I use, and unfortunately, you know that I blend my own seed, but hopefully things are going to work out to where I will have my own blend of grass seed for you to purchase next year. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty certain. Certain enough to where I've made a website already. So I will link that. Obviously, it's not available for purchase, but you can see the website and you'll know that I'm, not bull jobbing you here. So let's talk about this a little bit. Obviously, there's no perfect grass seed. So let me start off by saying that. The varieties in this grass seed, it's going to be Bonfire, Daybreak, Xanadu, and Providence. All of those are available, but right now, who's going to blend it? They do not have Daybreak available yet. They are working on that, so that is what's holding it up right now. And who will be blending this is United Seeds. I bought seed from those folks for several years, and they are being kind enough to blend my own mixture, and it's going to be available hopefully next year. So it will be shipping from United Seeds also. So price I'm not positive on. I think it's going to be the same price as what their blend is. I am trying not to copy anybody else's seed. These varieties are these varieties are in a few other blends, a couple of them, but there's nothing exact, so that I've come across. So this is obviously my yard is several different varieties, but I did do a very heavy overseed this when I overseeded this year, like 5 pounds per thousand. So what you're seeing is a good reference to what this grass seed can produce. Obviously, you got to have the water and the proper maintenance. That's with any grass seed. Like I mentioned, there's nothing perfect, but I've never been one to push products, and I'm not pushing this on you, but if you want the same grass seed that I use, then hopefully it'll be available to you to buy in a blend instead of having to mix it yourself. That's my goal. So, but what I'm going to do is go over some of these varieties on my computer with you on the NTEP trials, and show you and talk to you about them. And I guess compare them to some other varieties. I don't know what's going on here on the road here, but I'm telling you, I've said it before, it's a tough place to film videos. People crazy around here. But I'll compare them to some of the other well-known varieties, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of those varieties. I have some of them in my yard that I'm going to compare them to, but I feel like this is probably the best my yard's ever looked. I do the same maintenance on it every year, same amount of fertilizer typically, and it is super dark green right now, and it's I mean, it's just thick. So right now I couldn't be happier with it. But I don't want I don't want you folks to feel like I'm trying to push some product on you, because I'm not. If you want to buy it, if it becomes available, then buy it. If you don't, don't. I don't care what you use. I've always said that. I'm just trying to offer you something that's already blended for you, so that way you don't have to, go blend 4 different varieties together. And obviously, it's going to be a lot easier to buy a blend than blending them yourself like I've been doing. And hopefully this is going to work out for me too, because that way I don't have to blend them anymore. So I'll go over these varieties with you, and we'll take a look at them. All right, so here's the 2023 data. These are the states that this data is based off of. It's Delaware, Kansas, Maryland, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Virginia. So that's a good mix in the transition zone. It's actually, I guess, it's all in the transition zone. So, and everybody knows, fescue in the transition zone, this is probably the hardest weather that it's got to grow in. So, this is the overall turf quality for 2023. And I mentioned the varieties in my seed that are Daybreak, Providence, Xanadu, and Bonfire. So Daybreak, the overall turf quality is 6.6. That's the highest on this list. Providence, 6.5. Xanadu, 6.4. Bonfire, 6.3. Some of your more well-known varieties from like Mountain View Seeds, they're right here with those. Avenger 3, 6.4. Titanium GLS, 6.4. So there's Spider 2LS, 6.3. So all of these varieties that I've chose are within something like a Mountain View seed, or slightly above, or even. When I pick these, I don't just base them off of the overall mean. I mean, that's probably the best way to do it overall. But, I also look at disease, leaf texture, and genetic color. So, I'll pull up some of those, and we'll look at those also. So here's the leaf texture, and you can see there's a lot more states in here: Connecticut, Delaware, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, Mississippi, North Carolina, Nebraska, Oklahoma. You can look right there for yourself. There's Tennessee and Virginia. So, and let me mention also, some of these varieties you can't even get your hands on. You can look them up and you can't even find them. So, obviously I've got to put in the grass seed what I can get my hands on. So, there's a Mountain View seed one that's 6.7. Spider 2LS. There's Xanadu. That's what's in my blend. It's 6.7. Providence, that's in my blend, 6.6. Daybreak 6.6. For another example, there's Titanium GLS, a Mountain View seed, 6.6. So we can go down the list here. I think I might have covered all. There's Bonfire, 6.4. So, I mean, they're all right there together. You know, I'm just trying, with this, I'm trying to be unique and trying to give you the best that I can give you. Not trying to copy anybody. So that's the reason why I chose these, and you can look back in my videos where I was mixing seed, and you can see that I used exactly what I'm talking about. Daybreak, Bonfire, Xanadu, and Providence. That's what I use. So that's the leaf texture. We'll move on to another one here. Here is the brown patch ratings. These states tested in here is Delaware, North Carolina, and New Jersey. There's Bonfire, overall 7.0. There's a Mountain View seed, Avenger 3, 6.9. There's Daybreak, which is in mine, 6.9. There's Providence, 6.7. There's Xanadu, 6.6. So, I mean, you know, it's right there with all these other great varieties. There's a Mountain View seed one that's 6.9. I don't even see Titanium GLS on here. Where is it at? Right there, Titanium GLS. That's a big Mountain View seed one. 6.3. So it's right there with the best of the best as far as a disease package. And I'll see if I can find the gray leaf spot one also. Alright, so here's everybody's favorite disease for fescue, gray leaf spot. This is 2019 to 2023 data combined. That's the only thing I could find. And this is, you know, this is what I had to go by also. For some reason, I only tested it in New Jersey. I don't know why New Jersey has two different sites, but obviously New Jersey's hot and humid also. And the NTEP thought New Jersey was a good state to test for gray leaf spot, so I guess that's why they done it. But so, you know, this is the top of the list as far as it goes. On the top of the list for this, Bonfire overall means 8.2. Daybreak is next, overall means 8.2. There's you a Mountain View seed that's gray leaf spot resistant, 8.0. There's another one, Firecracker, 7.8. So two of them that I'm putting in my blend is at the very top. It's so hard to look through this phone when I'm doing this. Where did I see? Xanadu, there's Xanadu, it's 7.3. And Providence is 7.0. So, I mean, the lowest is 7.0 and the highest is 8.2, with 2 being 8.2 and you know, one of them being, I lose this all the time, one of them being 7.3. So, and this is why you don't put one variety in your yard, which would be called a monostand. You know, like I mentioned, you know, some of these varieties are stronger at certain things versus, you know, other things. That Providence, it's really, really strong at brown patch. So that's why I put that in there, you know, for brown patch. And then we've got 2 there. That's at the top of the list for gray leaf spot. So we'll move on to the next one here. All right. Here's genetic color rating. It took me forever to find this. So 2023 data, and this is basically all the states. It's not just a transition zone. So Xanadu, the overall quality is 6.8. Let's see here. Bonfire, 6.7. Providence, 6.6. Daybreak, 6.5. So that's comparable with, we'll look at some Mountain View seed ones here. Firecracker GLS, 6.8. And there's the Xanadu I mentioned first, 6.8. Titanium GLS, 6.7. So it's all right in line with it. And this is what's strange to me. Like I mentioned, this is the overall mean quality for genetic color, but look at this right here. There's Daybreak. The overall mean's 6.5. But if you look at Daybreak in North Carolina, we'll go straight down here. And this is genetic color for North Carolina. It's 8.0. Let's see what Titanium GLS is for North Carolina. I think it's 8.0 also. Yep, it's 8.0. Xanadu, let's see what it is in North Carolina. It's 8.0. So like I mentioned, the overall means, that's for all the states that that is tested in. I guess averaged out. Where's Bonfire at? It's a really dark variety for North Carolina. I mean, it's dark period is 6.7, but Bonfire in North Carolina, it's 8.3. Right there. .3. So I mentioned Providence for North Carolina, it's 7.7. So, you know, there's a Dynamite GLS from Mountain View Seed. Let's see what it is in North Carolina. It's 7.3. So, you know, when I picked them for me, I picked them for North Carolina. And that's the way I've always told you folks to do this, is pick it for your state. But, you know, you've seen the overall ratings that I showed you, and the varieties that I've got in this blend are overall turf quality mean are, you know, at the top of the list. So, yeah, I mean, I put it in my yard, and I think my yard looks pretty good. So, there you go, as far as that goes. All right, so I hope me going over those varieties and stuff will give you a better idea of you know, the quality of seed I'm hoping to come out with. As I mentioned before, you know, I'm not trying to push this on anybody. I'm just trying to give you folks that, you know, watch me on YouTube and stuff a chance to buy what I use versus, you know, buying individual bags and mixing it yourself. I'm never going to promote or push products on you folks. If it ever comes to that point of me selling products, I'm not going to sell something I don't 100% believe in. I'm only going to sell what I use. I don't care who approaches me. If I don't believe in it, I'm not going to use it. You know, with that said, I mean, I'm sure there's other products comparable to what I use, but if I can't choose the products that I want to use myself and offer them, if that does become an option, I'm just not going to do it. That's just the way I am. I'm not going to be bought or sponsored. If I don't believe in it, I'm not going to use it. And that's one reason why, you know, I don't reach out to folks trying to get products to push. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those products that folks push, but I feel like some of them might be just because they're getting free products, and that's why they're you know, why they're pushing it. But if I can't choose what I want to promote, if that happens, I'm just not going to do it. So I will link in the description my website, so you know it's legit. It's PrimeTimeFescue.com. I'll link that in the description. And if you folks want to join my Facebook group, it's PrimeTime Fescue. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Brad Ennis. So anyway, I will let you know if this happens. I'm hoping it does, but if it don't, nothing I can do about it. But as always, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.